Oh, here we go, boom, right here. As soon as you enrolled in ABCP, if the soldier continues to exceed the body fat standards after 6 months on ABCP, the commander will, because that word right there means something, will. We're going to get back to looking like something around this bitch.
And for the ones that are going to be talking about, you're a soldier, you're in the military, you're supposed to not even worry about looking cute at work. You're not there to look cute, you're there to do your job. I don't care. I don't care.
Defense Secretary of War Pete Hegseth and the Army Sergeant Major of the Army have come out with some drastic grooming and uniform changes that are making a lot of military people freak out. I'm sorry, guys, but the fashion show is up. Left, right, left. And they have bucked back and essentially told you guys, you guys took it too far. You took it way too far. Now we can't have nice things. This should not be a surprise to anybody because if you guys forget, Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense, said in this article, Hegseth orders review of military grooming and fitness standards, and this was Thursday, March 13th, 2025. Now, a lot of people were rejoicing, yes, he's going to give males beards. Or not. That's not what happened at all, actually. No. You were wishful thinking because, if anything, he was trying to tighten the standards, and that's essentially what's happened. This memo was released August 20th, but I have not covered it till now, and it's just coming out. The grooming standards set by the U.S. military is to be clean-shaven and neat in presentation for proper military appearance. When authorizing individual exceptions, commanders must apply consistent criteria and appropriately consider the department's interests in safety and uniformity. It says effective immediately, I'm directing all military departments to implement the following minimum requirements concerning medical exceptions to the grooming standards, requiring service members to be clean-shaven. But it says unit commanders will initiate separation of service members who require a shaving waiver after more than 1 year of medical treatment. I have full confidence in our leaders at all levels to provide an accurate assessment of whether retention is appropriate. Heard it here. It looks like they are bringing back separations of military service if you cannot shave. Looks like people are going to figure this out. Some commanders are probably going to be very aggressive about this. Just putting that out there. That's because they're following commander's guidance, which is Pete Hegseth in this instance. Now, let's get into some of the uniform policy that the Sergeant Major of the Army released essentially recently, or maybe he was interviewed talking about it. But I have the source document right here. I'm not going to cover all of it because that would be too long and boring for all of you, but I'm going to hit wave tops of probably the most contentious points that I've seen online with social media and people talking about it. And one of the most dramatic was essentially, they don't want you if you are overweight in the military.
I actually have never had anything, Dubai chocolate bar, anything.
I had some fries, some French toast sticks, and 2 sandwiches. I like a variety. Am I gonna try it?
Of COVID, military standards are over. I'm just going to say that officially. It said the Army Body Composition Program, Regular Army, Active Guard Reserve. The following changes apply to the Regular Army and Active Guard Reserve. And they say commanders will direct a body fat assessment on any soldier who they determine does not represent a soldierly appearance to ensure the soldier meets the screening table weight for the soldier's measured height. They say in the absence of diagnosis of an underlying medical condition, if the soldier continues to exceed body fat standards after 6 months in the ABCP, the commander will initiate separation action. Will, not shall, not could, not thought of, will. Like, you are getting out of the Army if you do not fulfill this. Now, I don't want to lose my audience here, but a lot of this next drama stuff.
And I am,
Sergeant Major of the Army said, whoop-de-doo.
And for the ones that are going to be talking about, you're a soldier, you're in the military, you're supposed to not even worry about looking cute at work. You're not there to look cute, you're there to do your job. I don't care. I don't care. I'm a woman, okay? I'm a girl. I like to feel like a girl in my uniform.
I'm a Barbie girl in the Barbie world.
I got my earrings on, I got my hair done, I got my nails on, my makeup's on. Like, I like to feel like a woman, a very feminine woman. That is me, okay? I don't do lash extensions, so I'm not really worried about that. I never really worried about that one. The clear nail polish be so for real. Like, y'all, please. Like, what did the pink nail polish ever do to anybody? This pissed me off. I'm not gonna lie. This really did. On a Monday. I'm finding out on a Monday. I'm already not having a good day. I'm getting out. I already was planning on getting out, but yeah, baby, I'm getting out for real.
Yeah, that female drama stuff that was going on where everyone's like, oh my God, my nails, my hair, oh my God. They are now having much tighter regulations. That is not the only thing, because I am so happy that this one change is happening. Hairstyle techniques. Female hairstyles involving shorter sides and back with significantly longer hair on top are authorized provided they adhere to the following standards. The top section will not exceed 2 inches in length when measured from the scalp. It must blend smoothly into the shorter sides and back, avoiding a stark disconnect. Styles involving shorter sides and back will not incorporate buns, braids, twists, or ponytails. A gradual transition in length is required, creating a blended contrast instead of a sharply defined undercut. Asymmetrical haircuts and hairstyles are prohibited. Thank you. Fine. There is one creator that is on Instagram and TikTok, and she shaves up all under here and then just pulls the top hair down so it kind of covers that area. And they're like, not allowed. Your hair has to look not like you are skinning the sides and just pulling down over the back. It's crazy. And this person was like, well, it's technically in regulations.
So I've actually been waiting for someone to ask me this question because I had a lot of questions about it before I got it cut too. So I got the undercut. Obviously, it goes all the way around. But I also got it in a V shape. So my bun is low enough that I can still put on my headgear and it will still be parallel to the marching surface, and it does not get in the way of my headgear or anything like that. And this is actually where I got my information from. Yes, there is no minimum hair length, there is nothing like that, but if you actually read the ALARAC paragraph 3 Bravo, it says to authorize no minimum hair length for female soldiers. The hair may have a taper appearance, and if the hair does not part naturally, then the soldier may cut it into the hair or style. So basically, there is no minimum hair length for female. As long as it does not obstruct with your headgear, let's say like ACH or anything like that, you can still put it into a low bun. You're good to go.
I know what you're saying, and I know, but I also know this is what happens when you try and get creative with the black and white. This is what happens. It's just what it is. The next thing that's super culturally relevant, because I'm telling you, they're pissed. They're pissed. It says eyelash extensions. Eyelash extensions of any kind are not authorized. False eyelashes are authorized only through a medical profile to address a condition causing the loss of natural eyelashes and subsequent lack of eye protection. False eyelashes must match the soldier's natural color. It will not exceed 9 millimeters in length. You guys took it too far. Yeah, you guys did. You tried to have it looking like caterpillars breaking out of a cocoon, coming out and just about ready to attack your face. That's not going to happen anymore. They shut it down. The whole point of the military is uniformity. Fortunately, it is the place where like everyone's trying to look the same. And it's to try and make it so literally they could switch one person for another and have no issues or any distractions. The next thing that ruffled the feathers of every female that's in the Army, it seems like, fingernails should be clean and well groomed to maintain professional appearance and ensure safety. Given the nature of maintenance work and other physically demanding military occupational specialties, nails can become easily dirty. Soldiers will keep nails at practical length and avoid snagging on tools or safety equipment. Additionally, nails should not interfere with the fit of gloves or uniforms. And specifically for females, it says female soldiers are authorized to wear clear nail polish only. Square or rounded nail shapes are authorized for all soldiers. Female soldier fingernails will not exceed 1/4 inch in length and are measured from the tip of the finger. They said these hands are for working. They're going to put you to work. They're ready for you to get down and dirty. How do you think D-Day happened?
Hi, honey, what you need today?
What I find interesting is men cannot have fingernails past the tips of their fingers, but women can have 1/4 of an inch past. And I'm like, why don't we just make it all the same? We just call it a day. We all got to put in that work, you know? Make them equal. These are the changes that are happening across the military. I don't think I would expect anything less. I'll tell you this, we were dealing with the whole baby hair fiasco that people were doing, and they took it too far where it looks like they're doing some italic scripture writing on the sides of their foreheads because it drooped down into their freaking eyebrows, you know? It's just funny because being in the military, you realize that there are people that all want to be different. They're fighting. They want to go light duty, get sick in quarters. They want the special thing that they get to do. It's like, it's weird. It's like the kid in middle school that somehow twisted their ankle and gets to ride the elevator and leave class a few minutes early. It's like, God, can you just stick to the script? You stick to the plan. We raised our hand to do this. We wear the uniform. That is the whole purpose of this. But again, it doesn't matter what I say. It matters what you say down in the comments, because that's where this conversation continues. And obviously the Army and other branches are paying attention to standards, especially right now as the push has been changed from the Secretary of War during this. And on top of that, it looks like the culture is no longer going to be able to push back on the big bad wolf of the military. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below.